Holy smoke-a-moles. It is your Cardano friend Jack here, and in today's video, we have some crazy things that have went down in the past few hours, in the past hour, matter of fact, that are going to likely affect the Cardano ecosystem for a long time to come. Let's get into it. Earlier today, I made a video about Cardano and the risks associated with the innovation on Cardano and new dApps. Well, 2 hours later, we see a tweet from Cardano Whale. Radana and Orbis rugged. If you don't know what Radana is, if you don't know what Orbis is, these are two pretty large protocols on Cardano that have been building for quite some time now and also raised a lot of funds, especially in the case of Radana. Now, I am not here in today's video to make any allegations or call anyone a scammer. Everything I'm doing is just reporting on what happened. And my opinion is my opinion alone. It is not fact, and it is definitely not the wholehearted truth. I don't know everything. Anything I say, just take it with a grain of salt. But let's cover what happened, okay? What is going on right now? Well, basically, the two large projects on Cardano have rugged. Maybe rugged is too strong of a word, but reported by Whale as he knew or found out, and he thought everyone else should know. A few minutes after this tweet, we see a few different tweets from Radana and from Orbis. Radana tweeting, "Hello Radana community. Unfortunately, due to the recent developments with regards to funding and project timeline uncertainty, the Radana project has had to come to a halt. Our code will remain open source for builders to continue to work going forward as they wish." Now, Radana has had a token for quite some time. They've raised a lot of money, and a lot of funding has apparently went into tooling, infrastructure, and security, according to them. And this, alongside the uncertainty around development completion, has led to the best course of action being halting development of DUSD. Now, I'm not going to be the first to say this. This is weird. And likely this is a rug pull, meaning that people are running off with money here. I can't say if that's for certain. That's just what I think's happening. I don't really know anything. I'm stupid. But it's interesting. And along with Radana tweeting, in the past weeks, November 10th, today is the 23rd for reference, about their GitHub, how everything works, congratulating Indigo Protocol on their mainnet launch, and being their partner, and looking forward to list DUSD as collateral. Let's see, 1 day ago, talking about DUSD, and then 1 day later, coming to a halt. Weird. And then also, project by the same founder, Ryan, a serial entrepreneur, also kind of putting out the exact same message, and unfortunately, due to constrained funding and uncertain conditions, Orbis Labs is unable to continue building, and the project has come to a halt. This is unfortunate, given that amazing research and work that's been produced. Now, I'm no expert. I can't look into all their code bases and see if they have anything of value here and if the research is actually compliant. I know Orbis had some amazing threads being written and some great information that I put on my channel, and I thought that was awesome, but I don't really see any finished products from either of the two other than tokens and them getting money and just building code that I can't read, and I can't tell you if it's actually progressive. But I am not here to bash. I am just here to report, okay? This is not good for the ecosystem. That's all I have to say right now. And even then, the Orbis project had an NFT sale, and they had to put it to a halt as well 10 hours ago, and they're going to come back with more details. This raised 1.1 million ADA, and now that wallet holds 622 ADA. Apparently, this has went to exchange addresses, but the ADA was going to centralized exchanges where we hold it and exchange to stablecoins for project funds. 1.1 million ADA went to an exchange to hold for stablecoins for project funds at 7/16. And then an hour and 30 minutes later, we saw tweets of them supposedly being insolvent and stopping project development. So whether this NFT value is going to go back into the community and get sent back, which I don't think it is, or not, that's a lot of money just alone. Never mind the millions of ADA pooled inside of the tokens. Of Dana token, as you can see here, down 16% right now. And if we scroll down here and we click on this chart, Dana, you're going to see a candle going down from 20 cents all the way down to right here, 15 cents in less than a day. So I don't know what you want to make of it. It does not look good. And I'm reporting this because it does not look good. We don't really see all this negative rug pull stuff, especially in DeFi of Cardano, because DeFi is so small. But this, to me, it blew me out of the water. I was wrapping Christmas gifts. I see a tweet from Cardano Whale that Orbis and Radana rugged, and here we are recording this video talking about it. And Radana tweeting out they're insolvent. Orbis tweeting out they're insolvent. They just raised $1 million earlier today in ADA. Sorry, not $1 million, $1 million ADA. It's in centralized exchanges. They have millions of other ADA raised through the community, and they're stopping the development. Now, when the whales tweet went out about Radana and Orbis rugging, this was pooled ADA at least 100,000 more than it is now. I saw it. It was up significantly less than an hour ago, and this is dropping. Maybe even if we refresh, we can see the number move. But thing is, DeFi is new, and DeFi is risky. I mentioned that in today's video, user risk and innovation. This is not going to be the first time, and it actually wasn't even the video I was recording right now. I was recording a different video about token dumping and going to tell people about, watching out for high market caps with the fully diluted values, okay? And them being really, 1% of supply out there, let's say for tokens like LQ, and having a billion ADA market cap when it's only been a Discord drop, and how this affects price, how this can benefit people inside the projects, and how it can really harm people, retail investors included, trying to extract value from this or trying to invest in this. I'll be honest, I'm still flabbergasted that this has happened, especially today. A lot of things, and rumors have been put out about Radana and Orbis, and I've seen people saying, oh, they're rugging, someone's a scammer, so-and-so. I don't know the details, but I do know that these projects have halted development and still have a lot of funds. And as I said earlier, they raised $1 million ADA from an NFT sale, put it to a centralized exchange in the same day. We don't know what's going on over there. I just want to make it clear that whatever project you are backing, it could rug you. It seems it doesn't really matter, and we need to be very careful, or anyone needs to be very cautious of huge risks that people are taking, putting a lot of value in projects that look very legit, have legit branding, legit research even, going under, whether they actually ran out of money or runway, or whatever it is. And I know it is hard. It's being making something of value and keeping all that money afloat. I know it's hard, but whether it's truthful that they ran out of funds or they just quit early and took the funds and left the ecosystem, it's not going to be easy to tell. It's not going to be easy to accuse, and it's not going to be easy to prove. So I'm not going to say that's happening, but it could happen, and it can happen, and it will happen on Cardano, especially as we get more DeFi activity in the ecosystem, because DeFi projects and NFT projects are very different. And DeFi has a lot more ability to take retail investors' money and ADA, yours, and then go sell it and get rid of it because they don't even care. They just want the money. And there's a lot of questions to be asked here. I'm not going to be someone who's just blaming people constantly, because I just don't want to get the other end of the stick. But there are people asking questions already. $10 million USD. How is that money gone in 1 to 2 years on quote unquote development? Especially maybe when things don't have working products, just a website and research. Now, I don't know the ins and outs, but it does sound a bit sketchy to me. Now, I want to briefly also talk about something pretty sketchy going on in the ecosystem, which you should probably be aware of, especially if you're aware of Radana and whatever else. This is equally as important in my opinion, is $230,000 worth of Indigo protocol, which just launched. I've been making videos about them, being dumped on the market through a advisor and previously co-founder. This thread is going to be linked down in the description if you want to check it out, by Bison. I talked with him on Discord briefly. He tried to explain to me the situation, but this explains it pretty well. Essentially, Indigo protocol launched on November 21st. Today's the 23rd. In the MinSwap LBE, they raised 3.3 million ADA, just a few hours. This gained 20 million plus ADA in total value locked. And a lot of people minted IUSD, myself included. I've been just playing around with it. And there's been a little bit of supply on the LBE after the launch of Indy token and the initial distribution going out from the liquidity raising event, the LBE on MinSwap. We saw an all-time high of 12 ADA per Indy from a listing price of 9.5 ADA per Indy. Due to the airdrop sell pressure, people getting free Indy, this sold down to 7.7 ADA. Then in one single wallet, someone dumped 35,000 Indy tokens, cashing out 228,000 ADA. This moved price from 7.7 ADA per Indy to 5.7 in a single swap. No matter, no care for the slippage in the price. The wallet that sold the tokens, interestingly enough, was previously the co-founder of Indigo Protocol and was on board as an advisor until yesterday, which is very interesting. And this did go through many empty wallets and a Franken address for privacy or something to get to one area to another and dump the tokens. So this wallet ends up being tracked back to the core team of Liquid and then deemed under Dwayne Cameron, who is the founder of Liquid Protocol and previously co-founder of Indy, now advisor to Indy, no longer advisor to Indy, dumping these tokens. And these were unvested. These were his to sell, whatever. But why would someone sell them is the question people most are asking, especially when after doing this, he has sacrificed his other vested tokens, around 800 something thousand Indy tokens versus just 35,000. After the dump, the advisor was removed from the website and no more association with the project of Indigo has been had. Keep in mind, all this beef between the two protocols, Indigo and Liquid, to me, doesn't affect the actual protocols and their stability. So keep that in mind. Maybe it affects their tokens or people's view on their tokens and one of them dumps or one of them pumps. I don't know. I'm just telling you the news, okay? So keep in mind, the protocols, Indigo, which is live, and Liquid, which is coming too, I don't think these are directly impacted. I just think the team members have some beef and things are going on that we should probably be questioning and looking into as they happen. So mentioning this again, 35,000 tokens sold for 220 something thousand ADA, vested or we're out of vesting periods and we're perfectly able to sell. This is interesting, but usually people don't sell right away. However, it can be done and they have the right to do it. So it's not like this is the end of the world. But selling them within 30 minutes of them unlocking is a bit fishy. At least I think so. It's a bit weird. Maybe other people are doing this. I don't know if it's common practice for advisors to sell their tokens, but no longer an advisor of the project. And after selling 35,000 tokens, I don't think DC will be getting the next 23 batches of 35,000, equating to 805,000 Indy tokens. Apparently there was a gentleman's agreement not to sell the tokens. A lot of people don't have issues with him selling the tokens because they were out of the vesting period, but why he sold is a lot of people's questions. And Bison also asks, why would he sell if he has 6.5 million ADA in his personal wallet, Liquid is doing good, and risking 805,000 other Indy tokens? Now, looking back when DC was a co-founder of Indigo up until some point this summer, I believe, and to now, a lot of people, including myself, have overestimated how closely these two projects are related when really they are quite separate. Up until yesterday, as I mentioned, DC was an advisor of Indigo, and things have changed quite drastically. No longer he is an advisor, and the Robert from Indigo thinks LQ should be under 2 ADA. Currently, if we go look at it, it is 56 ADA. And there's a lot of beef between the two projects, it seems. Here is Robert from Indigo talking about a 2 ADA Liquid and closing a short position around 5 ADA. If you don't already know, Liquid has their own stablecoin. Interestingly enough, it's CDP backed, similar to what IUSD is. Pretty much the same thing, I've been told. And to me, it looks very similar. So they may be competing for stables, liquidity, and total value locked on this more niche market of stablecoins and synthetics. And that may be the reason for this. I don't know, but it is interesting to see the connection between the two and possibly the reason behind one project beefing the other project. The important part of this whole thing, this whole side bit across from Radana and Orbis rugging, is retail needs to pay attention. And that's probably you watching this video. That's also my stupid ass in my mom's basement. We need to pay attention and we need to look into the $1 million questions that are left unanswered. Why did someone risk 805,000 Indy tokens just to sell 35,000? What does he know that we don't? And also, retail, how is this going to affect us? How can liquidity and people providing liquidity or inside these markets trading these assets get affected and essentially dumped on or very much hurt and lose a lot of their money? So this happened with SundaySwap, this happened with MinSwap. Their protocol tokens took a large hit, and initially, before they released all the tokens and had their protocol basically giving out all the tokens for yield farming, before they did that, they had a large market cap and they had a very few amount of tokens. So easily to inflate, or a lot easier to inflate because there's less tokens in the market. That's kind of where I see LQ going. I don't know if it's going to go into 2 ADA. I don't know, okay? But they have a Discord airdrop. The diluted market cap is 1 billion ADA. Right now, they have very, very little LQ in circulation. Very, very little. And hence the price is very, very high. Now, what's important to keep in mind is one project founder, advisor, someone being paid in the project's token, a decent amount, at least, a few percent or even a fraction of a whole percent can really fluctuate a market, especially because we're using AMM dexes that have very, not deep liquidity pools, and where, someone can go ahead and take 5 to 10% chunk out of the liquidity pool in one trade, especially so if they're part of the team and they have unvested tokens. This is going to happen likely with other protocol tokens. Surprise, surprise. Could happen with LQ, could happen with other things launching that have a built up market cap of 1 billion ADA and haven't put out an actual protocol yet. So just keep that in mind. There are market caps that are fully diluted, billions of ADA or hundreds of millions of ADA, and a lot of them haven't launched an actual protocol yet. These things are very risky. You should be very cautious. And even with things not launched at all, you have to be careful. And I know no one wants to hear be careful. Everyone wants to hear that everything's going to be fine and they can just invest their money in any Cardano ecosystem token and it'll go up. However, that's not the case clearly. I don't know who the bad actors and good actors are here. I have no way of telling long term what's going to work out. But I do know that rugs are happening. People are going under, and retail investors will be heavily dragged down with those projects that decide to go under. Or maybe not decide, but just end up going under. In general, I think this is going to happen. A lot of people think this is normal. Okay, projects are going to fail. That is the way it is in a sense, but a lot of this is, in my eyes, somewhat malicious and some ways avoidable if you are looking out for it as a retail investor. In the short of it, Radana has rugged, Orbis has potentially rugged, or whatever words you want to use for these projects, lacking funds, being insolvent, and no longer developing their project. You use those words. I use rugged in the title. I'm using the word rugged. It's a loose term these days that anyone can deem or apply to any project that isn't further developing. So we'll just leave it at that. But my point is, things are new, things are scary in Cardano, and you need to be careful. That's pretty much the whole point of this video. And there's a lot of news. This came out recently. I will leave links to everything I can in the description. These tweets right here, the Bison tweets, and just everything going on in the ecosystem. But if you're on Twitter right now, it's going to be a absolute crap storm. And there's tons of allegations and so much more going on. So we're just going to have to let this shit settle and see where it lays us. Lastly, I want to make it abundantly clear. I don't think that Indigo or Liquid are doing anything super shady or they're going to rug. I don't know. I like the two protocols a lot still, and I'm not trying to toss that rug shade over on them. So just want to get that out of the way. But anyways, I am running out of voice. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, probably talking about Indigo Protocol, making tutorials on them. If you guys like the video and you want to support me, consider staking with the Jack stake pool. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. It's me, friend Jack. Peace out.